NTA Lagos Channel 10 for information and education, for all-round entertainment, for quality programs. Lagos Channel 10. Oh, yeah, carry the go. Oh, yeah, carry the go. For children and family programs. NTA Lagos Channel 10. Where they entertain the people, all the people they know. For the latest news and sports. NTA Lagos Channel 10. For clear signal, where they work far. Now we be the medium, we go help you sell your market. All round entertainment for everybody. Jolly, 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 jolly. Company tonight. This is your family station. Family station. Station for the people. NTA Lagos Channel 10. Station with a difference. Station with a difference. Station of excellence. NTA Lagos Channel 10. NTA Lagos Channel 10. Now the station for
Top on the news tonight. Justice for late Bonale Rahim as Lagos High Court sentences police inspector to death by hanging. President Tinubu appoints media administrating members. Plus, latest in the world of sport. And you're welcome to the police inspector Drambi Van D, who killed Bonale Rahim. A Lagos-based lawyer in December 2022 has been sentenced to death by hanging. Justice Ibironke Harrison of the Lagos State High Court of the sitting Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, handed down the sentence. The Lagos State government, through the Office of Directorate of Public Prosecution (DPP), has filed a one-count charge of murder against Drambi Van D, a former superintendent of police. He was arraigned on the 16th January 2023, and the prosecution, as tendered 27th exhibit and over 10 witnesses, said the facts of the case are not incontrovertible, while the court was meticulous in handling murder cases as witnesses tendered. Exhibits including autopsy report of the deceased lawyer, Bolande Rahim. She said the defendant is guilty despite the fact that he equivocally denied that he did not shoot the deceased and is not responsible for her death. Justice Ibironke Rahim said that based on circumstantial evidence, forensic and logical evidence deductions from the ballistician, when put together, constituted the means to establish that the defendant was guilty of the crime. It will be recalled that the late lawyer was in company of her husband and children was shot on the 25th of December 2022 at Aja.
And Milord says she knows we want to move forward. It's not yet over until it is over. The prosecution is obviously happy about the results of this conviction, and we hope it will bring a closure for the family of late Mrs. Bolale Rahim.
It will be recalled that the late lawyer Bolale Rahim, who was in company of her husband and children, was shot on the 25th of December 2022 at Aja Roundabout in Lagos State. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of the following men and women to serve in the office of the president under the Media and Publicity Directorate, with full respect for the tenets of Nigeria's federal character principle and the supremacy of merit. They are Mr. Fela Durotoye, Senior Special Assistant to the President, National Values and Social Justice; Mr. Frederick Uwambufo, Senior Special Assistant to the President, Public Engagement; Mrs. Linda Umubuya, Aigbe, Senior Special Assistant to the President, Strategic Communications. Mr. Aliyu Audu, Special Assistant to the President, Public Affairs. Mr. Francis Ada Abba, Personal Assistant to the President, Special Duties. President Tinubu has further approved the secondment of Mrs. Linda Uwabua Aigbe to serve as the Communications Advisor to the President of the ECOWAS Commission. The President tasked all new appointees who are serving in the Media and Publicity Directorate to uphold the highest standards of decorum and decency in their engagement with all members of the public, uphold the highest standards of decorum and decency in their engagement with all members of the public as they advance on the President's determined bid to renew the hope of Nigerians in a restructured economy and unified society that caters sufficiently to the needs of all, regardless of any differences. After women are at the receiving end of the ills that plague the society. To change that narrative and build a safer society, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says they must forge needed solidarity and build capacity that will set them on more roles in nation building. She was speaking when she granted audience to Minister of State for Police Affairs Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim, who led a delegation of senior female police officers to her office. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo has more.
For the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, the new week is starting off on a note of what she described as law and order, having in her office a delegation of senior female police officers led by the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim. Appointed by President Bola Tinubu, the minister is the first woman to hold that position. Although women constitute a meager 9% of the Nigeria police workforce, the First Lady, while looking forward to more, expresses joy that women are in the security space actively involved in policing the country. And with confidence, she declares a new dawn for women in Nigeria as the current administration will give them more room to contribute their quota to national development.
We want to see more women doing that, not just speaking from a place of anger, but a place of where, policies will be effected and then laws will be amended. So that's where I want to see women speaking from.
Women and children, she says, must thrive and be empowered in a safe environment where rape, proliferation of baby factories, human trafficking, and organ harvesting are on the decline. And for this to happen, their voices must be heard.
I think this is the time for us to do the best we can for women. I'm also looking for ways to contribute in that area, to contribute to each individual lives. When we talk about Nigeria, we are talking about people in Nigeria. And we cannot have a Nigeria without the people excelling and doing great things.
While applauding the First Lady for her steadfast advocacy in the areas of women empowerment and gender equality, the minister says our ministry is working on bold initiatives aimed at addressing existing challenges as well as shaping the Nigeria Police Force.
Our aim is not only to meet the needs of the present, but to anticipate the challenges of the future. The vision hinges on efficiency, accountability, and the highest standards of professionalism. We are here today not just to discuss, but to seek your collaboration, for we understand that the collective advancement of these crucial causes requires your esteemed support and partnership.
Meanwhile, the First Lady also played host to Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. Coming out of a meeting with the First Lady, the minister told State House correspondents that efforts to address infrastructural gaps in the country require objective monitoring by Nigerians.
And so with their failures, we should place the blames rightly where it belongs, not where people don't do their work. Then leadership is blamed. That is very wrong. We have to begin to disaggregate it and blames and apportion it where it belongs.
In the State House, Adeni Taiwo, NTN.
As flood incidents continue to ravage several parts of Lagos, aimed at proffering a lasting solution to the ecological challenges on the island. Musa Toliat report that the governor would took an on-the-spot assessment of environmental challenges ordered the demolition and rebuilding of 3 major markets on Lagos Island, in line with the ongoing implementation of the Smart City Initiative in Lagos. The report.
It was an inspection tour to ascertain the immediate and remote causes of persistent flooding, which has become an urban nightmare for residents in Idumagbo and adjoining areas in Lagos Island. The level of environmental degradation discovered gave an inkling that amid the governor issued an eviction notice to traders to pave way for rebuilding of the markets.
To all of the legal squatters and all of people that are doing things there, it is an official notice again that we will take and clean up the entire market. We will start fully with the Bombata market and the Jankara market. It's going to be ground zero, and there's a full design of what we're going to be putting there. With the Pelewura market, because it currently abuts a large number of the citizens, we're going to give them adequate notice.
With the ongoing Ilubiani pumping station, the solution to perennial flooding on the Lagos Island is now in sight.
We have to change completely the drainage channel. So we built capacity and we've also built redundancy, as a final solution for the drainage evacuation from Lagos Island. That is for this location. So we will continue to do the work, and I'm sure that by December or January we'll come back here. This project here will be completed.
The governor warned residents to desist from indiscriminate dumping of waste in drainages, which eventually creates flood incidents across the metropolis. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And we'll be going on a break now. After the short timeout, the news continues. Stay tuned.
NTA Parliament is a dedicated 24-hour channel that broadcasts activities of the Nigerian Senate, Federal House of Representatives, and all the 36 state houses of assembly. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you are watching NTA Lagos Channel 10 News at 7. Rejigging the solid mineral sector through the implementation painstakingly articulated policies and the Nigerian mining law, which experts say is recognized internationally as the best, must be sincerely pursued. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria opined that a robust engagement between the private sector and the government will be game-changing in repositioning the mining sector. Lydia Sampson reports.
The harmful and illegal mining activities of artisan small-scale miners have continued to constitute a challenge as sponsors exploiting the artisan miners' lack of knowledge of the sector operate without licenses. Turning the tide by bringing back the lost glory of a sector hitherto a mainstay of the economy, the guest retweet, will require imbibing best practices that will not just attract investors, but also earn their confidence in sustainably investing in the sector.
We witness a very robust mining sector, which has significantly contributed to Nigeria's economic growth, whether it's GDP, whether it's employment, and overall economic well-being of Nigeria. Since that time, the decline has started and continued till date. The alarming thing is that the issues are not far-fetched, actually simple to understand, but we somehow fail to understand and continued in this very negative trend that the mining sector has failed to contribute to Nigeria's economic growth.
There's need to go back to our roots. And our roots as a country, we're very endowed with solid minerals and we need not continue the neglect. We must go back if we're to survive as a country. We're still discussing about solid minerals on Earth. We're not even discussing yet the offshore minerals that we have. We need to do some re-engineering of the solid mineral sector. The minister, will congratulate him. Some of the statements he has made, he has moved around. I think to some extent, he appears that he's set to work He needs to get the right pegs, square pegs in square holes or round pegs in round holes to work with him. And then obviously this country will move forward.
They reiterate the need for transparency in the management of the mining sector, especially as the exploration process is not just time-consuming situation where the mining sector is reduced to buying and selling, with many carrying mining leases in portfolios or pockets. They acknowledge that some positive policy changes have been achieved. Harnessing them for a win-win overhaul of the mining sector will go a long way in mitigating some abuses in the sector. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And on the foreign news, Israel's defense minister orders complete siege on Gaza. These and more stories as we join Dorcas Banjo on the foreign scene to report.
Israel's defense minister today ordered a complete siege on Gaza as the military says it has retaken control of Israel communities near the coastal enclave that were stormed by Hamas gunmen in an unprecedented attack over the weekend. Yoav Gallant said Israel would halt the supply of electricity, food, water, and fuel to Gaza. Also, Claudia Goldin, a professor at Harvard University, was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics for her contribution to advancing the understanding of women in labor markets. And that's all on foreign.
We begin with MPFL. During the match week 2, Plateau United over the weekend defeated Heartland 1-0 at home to pick up their first win of the 2023-2024 MPFL season. Kwara United are victors over Abia Warriors by 1-0. Aqua United were held 0-0 by Sporting Lagos. Lobby Stars are 3-2 up against Sunshine Stars of Akure. Niger Tornadoes beat Rivers United 1-0 at home. Remo Stars are 2-1 against Enugu Rangers. Eyimba International slumped 2-0 away to Gombe United. Bendel Insurance beat Shooting Stars 2-0. Doma United are 2-0 against Bayelsa United, while Katsina United slumped to Kano Pillars 1-0. Now to international football. In preparation for the upcoming international friendly match against Nigerian Super Eagles, the Saudi Arabian national team has opened their camp. The newly appointed manager of the team, Roberto Mancini, on Saturday released their list of 31 players that will prosecute the game. The camp was opened in the early hours of Sunday, and most of the invited players have arrived. After playing out a draw in their previous meeting, the Asian giant will be aiming to get the better of the Nigerian team this time around. The game is slated to be held in Portugal, and the Saudi Arabian team will still face another African country, Mali, after playing Nigeria. And to European football, UEFA has postponed all matches scheduled in Israel during the next fortnight amid increased tensions in the region. UEFA said Israel's Euro 2024 qualifier against Switzerland on Thursday is among matches postponed in light of the current security situation. European football's governing body says new dates will be arranged as it will assess the situation over the coming days to see whether Israel European Championship qualifier in Kosovo can still take place on 15 October. And finally to tennis. World number 2 Iga Swiatek claimed her 5th title of the year with victory over Samsonova in the China Open final. The Pole added to her titles in Doha, Stuttgart, Roland Garros, and Warsaw with a 6-2, 6-2 victory in Beijing. Swiatek, who ended US Open champion Coco Gauff's 16-match winning streak in the semifinals, was handed the first break of the match in the 6th game when Samsonova produced a double fault. With sport update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And that concludes the news. Jason Moses is standing by for the translation of the news in Ogo. Once again, thanks for joining us. I am Olua Bukola Akonde. A very good evening.
Mais Kodo Wadai, mais Kodo Tolom Kwabo dans le direction NTA. Jesuton Moses well to gigame o bono he de oso bo hu ovinyo no he o hu doto de emiyo de Bolanle Rahim to o we wai sin o fifo me ene to sunwe aweto o we wai to me wa yin de he to din do ye ko da o ku wena o we da lo wa yin de he ye to we ton to we da ho e tin bo ya mo le mate halu ton da ho e to ba ya sin to da fo abalewa sin o le do me ene to awon ri mate me file to a sin lo godo wa yin de ye do ya do o we yiro me yiro pono e yiro pono gan drambi vandi wa yin de o we da lo ko da do to one way be jo we hod raji to aza fo no kun ko to o sun titan o we to me wa yin de o we yiro me lo ko yin de ye ko do o nu me hia e ko to hia do o we lo wa yin de je o we ho lo to me do we da to e biron ke Harrison to we da lo me wa do hia do o nu he ti to nu kon na o we ko to hia do e yin de ye sa we lo po eso o de je o seme do e de o solo to de e majero do vion lo ko wa do ko to din e do ya do ina yo me e ye ze pa do onugo do mo do e gbomo do bai o me do ko àwọn Òtógbógán Bọ́lá Tinubu wọ́n yóò dé kò dó àlẹ́ mẹ́ dọ̀ o gbẹ̀tọ́lẹ̀ ní òdìdé tó tẹ̀ fọfọ mẹ́ nàdúmọ̀dọ̀ yéṣọ́ jẹ́ o àzọ́njí tàìrí o mẹ́rin náà wà zọ́n hẹ́ Òtógbógán tó hóhé yà fàṣẹ o lè ní sọ́lẹ̀ tó ń dalẹ̀ tó yé mẹ́ wẹ̀mí mọ́ o mẹ́dẹ́ yé yírọ́dọ̀ Fẹlá dúró tó yẹ ẹ̀yìn dọ̀pọ̀ tó yé mẹ́ mọ́kẹ́dẹ́ mẹ́sìn Frederick wọn bùfọ sọyìn òdòpó tó yé mẹ mẹsì Linda wọn bùwà àhìgbè sọyìn òmẹdòpó òmẹsùnù Aliyu Audu sọyìn àyìnàmẹtọ dòpó náà Òtógbógán òmẹsùnù Francis Ada Abba sọyìn òdèhè yìí dòpó tó yé mẹ Òtógbógán Tinubu tó kọlọwẹnuwẹnu sọdọ alẹmẹdọ mẹsì Linda wọn bùwà àhìgbè ní òdèhè ẹmísọdọ alẹmẹtọ dín dọ ní àyè nàmẹtọ náà òmẹyìn òtógbó nùkọtọ náà òmẹyìn gbé ECOWAS kan lẹẹsìn ògbẹ tàìdì àvàṣe nàmẹtọ náà ògálọ tó ìgàdó òònù lẹni sí òhùlẹjì mọkẹrẹ Òtógbógán sọdúkìá dọ ọ àzọlọ wọn yóò dé kó sí dàbọ jìnnà yìí dọ yìí níwà wọn yóò dé wọn ò sẹdùfò gbẹdùfò tìbá wà zọn náà tó mẹnu lẹ pọ tó dé kò yín níbi ọdún tó gbọn sẹńtàlì tó wọlé pọnù wọ́n kọ́ yóò tó kí á dọ̀ ònú yẹn ò tukara etí tó tọmẹ wọ́n yóò dé ṣoṣo àṣì Òtógbógán tán dọ̀ òhúrọ̀ lẹ́yìn òdìdí ọ́ tó dín tó gbé mẹ́ òhúrọ̀ wọ́n yìí dọ̀ tó wọnú ẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn mẹ́hẹ̀yẹ wá dọ̀nù tó gbọ̀n pọnù lẹ́ ẹ̀yìn yàn sí òpọnù lọ́wọ́ tó gbé mẹ́ ìṣàdọ̀ mẹ́tàn èyí tí tó ń wá lọ́jí Adéníyì Táíwò dóhùn ẹ̀ dọ̀tọ̀ ònú ètò òhúrọ̀ náà ò yẹ mẹ́hẹ̀yẹ òpọnù lọ tó gbọ̀n mẹ́hẹ̀yẹ tẹ̀fíṣàn àtọ́ náà ò pọnù lẹ́ sí òhó tó glọ̀ wẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn òdè yìí ò mẹ́hẹ̀yẹ tó yá dọ̀ ẹ̀yìn dàda tó dín nàdúmọ̀dọ̀ yẹ mẹ́hẹ̀yẹ ònyọ́nu lẹ̀ wẹ̀ sọ́kàlà tẹ̀mẹ́ná dọ̀ àzọ́ hẹ̀yẹ tó yẹ wa tó yẹ mẹ́hẹ̀yẹ sọ́yìn òpọnù lẹ̀ lọ́sù nàdúmọ̀dọ̀ o Togo Nigeria tó wọn tí tó yọ mẹ wọn yóò dé yà họlùyàn pípa ètò ẹjì bọ ẹsẹ mọdọ ìbí náà pọ ànúpọ dọdọ yà dọ pípa nínú yẹn lọ wọn yóò dé yẹ yún ẹ dọgbọn àlè láyé dalè dọdọ yà dọ yàn sílẹ̀ sí ònú wa gbọ́dọ̀ nọmọ ẹtàn pọ wọn yóò dé yẹ àhọlù etí tó gbẹdí tó Togo Nigeria tó mẹtọ dín náà yóò dé yẹ wà zọn tó yẹ alẹ ṣoṣo wọn náà yàn sílẹ̀ kúgàn dé kò tí dọdà yìí tó Togo Nigeria tọmẹ torí òun jíjọ ò sí gbàdó tán àìsùn wẹwẹ tó àwọn onímọ̀tẹ sí lẹ́dọ̀mẹ ènìyàn di Lagos Island tó dín wẹ àyímọ̀tẹ gan Babájídé Sanwó-Olú bó sọyìí tó dín bó ìṣe ò títorí jẹgbọnu èkótó ìyáàdọ ò lẹ́dọ̀ Lagos Island tọmẹ bírèbù wọ̀nyí ò dé ìránṣọ fọ́ọ̀dì ọdún látọ̀ mọ̀mọ́dọ̀ ò nínú ọmọlẹ́ wẹ̀ sọ fọ́ọ̀dì ọ now ho he ko jan bo file po ko so wale sun aisun teme when you dey amudo ye depo titolo wa e beje di to din bodo nulira podo ahi enedele to o le to la meton when you dey na sunudo to din ka je wonu he na so va ino le gba to din yoyo nko to me e do ya bo so na yi na me ye do ni do alote na o bo kan to aisun do me to do ya do o àìsùn tó yọyọ wẹ̀yẹ náà tó gbá ètò gbígbà pọ̀ àzọ́kù tó yìí tó di kútókútó tó àlọ́nu tó dín táyé ní sẹ́lẹ̀ mẹ́tọ̀ musa tọ́lé àtẹ̀yìn nìgọ́dọ̀ ètò kìádọ̀ àyímàtẹ́gán wẹ̀kọ̀ tó kìádọ̀ òsè gbàtò sí òkúrátò lẹ́dọ́lọ́mẹ wẹ̀yẹ náà wà zọ́nlẹ̀ pọ́bùmọ́dọ̀ èdèpọ̀ ìwájú náà tó mẹ́nu lẹ̀ ìlọsú nípa zọ́n tó pọ̀ hẹ́ àhọlu tó mọ́dọ̀ òyìnbó àhọlu tán wẹ̀ àlọ́bọ̀ tó ègò náà nínú òtò mẹ́nu lẹ̀ tán. Halfo, man, l'otto può dare cade o so, non si unisce come per quello che do.
Excellence, station with a difference, station of the people. NTA Lagos Channel 10. For information and education, for all round entertainment, for quality programs. NTA Lagos Channel 10. Oh, yeah, carry the